All right, let's talk about Upstart. Ever wonder what happens when a super smart AI, one that's a big deal in the financial world, just suddenly slams on the brakes? Well, that's kind of what we saw. Today, we're going to pop the hood on Upstart's AI, and we've got the inside scoop straight from their CTO, Paul Gu, based on his latest update. Let's dig in.
So here's the thing that got everyone talking. Upstart's AI models, right? They're known for being super precise, but all of a sudden, they got really cautious, started approving way fewer loans. And everyone's asking, why? Why would this cutting-edge AI suddenly get so conservative? Was something broken? Or was this actually part of the plan?
Well, it turns out it wasn't a bug at all. According to Upstart's CTO, it was a feature. He basically said, look, one of the biggest strengths of our model is how fast it reacts to what's happening in the real world, in the economy. The AI saw some increased risk out there, and it did exactly what we designed it to do. It pulled back. It got cautious.
Okay, so being super responsive is good, right? But it can also be a bit of a headache. It creates this month-to-month choppiness, this volatility. That's not ideal. So the team went back to the drawing board and came up with a new way to calibrate the whole system. And the goal here is pretty ambitious, to slice that unwanted volatility right in half. It's not about turning the feature off, it's about fine-tuning it, making it even smarter.
And that's a perfect lead-in to our first big topic, forging a smarter core. You can't build a skyscraper on a shaky foundation. So this past quarter, Upstart went back to basics. They really focused on making some serious upgrades to their main engine, the workhorse that powers all their personal loans.
And they really zeroed in on two main things. First, speed, just making the whole system way faster, cutting down what's called latency. And second, getting a lot smarter about their pricing. They did this by optimizing something they call take rates, which is pretty much the slice of the pie they get from every loan.
And when it comes to that first point, speed, the results were honestly huge. They re-engineered a big chunk of their loan pricing process, and by doing that, they cut the total time it takes to press a loan by up to 30%. I mean, that is a massive efficiency gain.
But here's the kicker, and this is really important. This speed boost isn't just about making the website feel snappy for you and me. It's about something much bigger. It's about unlocking the next generation of their AI. See, a slower system can only handle smaller, kind of basic AI models. By speeding up the engine, they've basically given themselves the horsepower to run bigger, more complex, and way more accurate AI models. It's a total game changer.
All right, so that's speed. What about that second thing, the take rates? Well, they built a whole new machine learning model dedicated just to this. The idea is to get way more intelligent with their pricing. When you can do that, you can be more competitive, you can bring in different kinds of customers. It's not just about raw power, it's about being strategic.
Okay, so having a smarter, faster core engine is fantastic, but that's only half the puzzle, right? You still have to find the right people to give loans to. And that brings us to the next piece, applying that same AI brainpower to actually acquiring customers.
So one of the big hurdles they faced was getting their really sophisticated AI to play nice inside their partners' tech systems. And this quarter, they cracked it. They figured out how to run their best models in their partners' own cloud environments, and they built what they call a language-agnostic framework. The best way to think about it is like a universal travel adapter. It just lets them plug their AI into pretty much any partner's system, way, way faster than before.
And that's not all. For their own marketing, the ads they run, they came up with something brand new. It's a special technique for figuring out which ad dollars are actually working, not just getting clicks, but which ads are directly causing someone to go through with getting a loan. It's about pinpointing the real impact.
And the results? Absolutely incredible. Compared to how they used to do it, this new technique got them a 50% lift in new loans for the exact same amount of money spent on ads. That is a crazy good return on investment.
So you've got a stronger core engine, you've got smarter ways to find customers. What's next? What does all this work actually unlock? Well, it lets them start automating the future of lending. All these under-the-hood improvements are already starting to pay off big time, especially in their newer products.
Just look at their home equity loan product, a HELOC. If we rewind to June, less than 1% of those were getting approved automatically. Fast forward to September, and that number jumps to 10%. And then by October, almost 20%. I mean, that is some seriously rapid acceleration, all in just a couple of months. So how in the world are they doing that? Well, a big piece of it is this tech called multimodal AI. Think about it. A personal loan is pretty straightforward, but a home loan, you've got all these messy documents, PDFs, scans, you name it. Multimodal AI is designed to understand all that stuff at once,
It can read the text, look at the images, process the data. It's basically doing what a human loan officer would do, but it's doing it in a fraction of a second.
And this push for automation isn't just for big loans. It's also totally transforming their small dollar loans. Back in September, they rolled out instant funding. What does that mean? It means for most people who get approved, the money is in their bank account in about 90 seconds. 90 seconds. That's what happens when you get all these powerful tech pieces working together.
All right, so after all these impressive upgrades, where does Upstart go from here? Let's kind of wrap this up by looking ahead at their tech pipeline. And based on everything we've just talked about, it's no surprise their CTO is feeling really good about the future. In fact, he wrapped up his remarks by saying he's more excited than ever about their upcoming technology wins. And you can see why, right? After a whole quarter spent laying this groundwork, speeding up the core, deploying next-gen AI, getting smarter on marketing, it really feels like the stage is set for whatever comes next. And that really leaves us with one final big question. What we just looked at was just one quarter of progress at one company in just one part of the financial industry. It really makes you stop and think, if this is what AI can do for lending right now, what industry is next on the list to be completely transformed?